Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to go ahead and do some teriyaki chicken. We're still cleaning out the freezer. Now, my heart and my literal blood is going towards the victims of the hurricane that came through Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. If you can donate or help in any way, any shape, form, it doesn't cost you anything to donate blood. Get a hold of the Red Cross, especially if you have O positive blood, because that is what they are in short need of right now. Today we're going to go ahead and continue on with our freezer clean out. We are working on the chicken that is in there. I'm going to do some teriyaki with rice. We're going to can it. And we're going to also make some chicken broth with what I have, because we went to a restaurant called K-Pot. They have an herbed soup over there that we fell in love with. I want to recreate that. So let's get started. Now, I found some restaurant liners online for this because I am so tired of just scouring the enamel off of this, and I cannot find replacements. Or there are replacements, but I'm not too sure what size to get, because I bought this at Walmart during Christmas time for like 40 bucks. These are big liners. Look at this. Those are huge. This will definitely work. But leave this a little bit open for airflow, because this is going to get warm. Now I have scoured my deep freezer. I found some roasted chicken bones to add to the broth flavor. But for the most part, we are going to go ahead and take regular chicken. You can get the bags of chicken, the leg quarters. I think they're like $5, $6, depending on where you live. And you can go ahead and use that as well. Whole chickens, I found, more expensive if you buy them raw. If you can get the rotisserie chickens on clearance for the next day rotisserie chickens, for $3 a bird. But if you buy a whole chicken uncooked, they're like $10, $11, if not more. Make that make sense. With the rotisserie, you already have it already cooked. The bones are already roasted. You don't have to spend any money on electricity cooking them. So for the most part, that's a win-win. Now this is going to be take more than one day, so we're doing this in batches. We are going to go ahead and roast and cook the chicken first, get all the meat off, This is going to sit at 300 degrees for 12 hours. We're not going to add any salt to this either because we have multiple recipes that we're going to use. Fill this up with water and just let it sit at temperature. We've been letting this boil itself for about 9 hours. We started this about 9 o'clock this morning. It is now 6 in the evening. We have everything nice and boiled. Let me put this down. We're going to take the meat out, take the meat off, return the bones, and leave the skin in, and we're going to let that. We're going to go ahead and let that sit for the rest of the night at 300. And then we're going to go ahead and put the chicken aside in the fridge until we can get to making the teriyaki sauce. Alright, so it's the next day. Obviously, different shirt. Doesn't mean anything. We have almost 2 gallons of chicken stock. We'll go ahead and make this into that soup, but I am having problems getting the ingredients for it. So I'm going to try to work on that this week so I can go ahead and make that for you next week. I love that soup. Sorry, my voice is going. I got my jars here. We're going to go ahead and do an assembly line of onions, green peppers, chicken. This is all the chicken that I did go ahead and grab off of the bones. We're going to add pineapple. And these are all the ingredients we're going to need for the sauce. I am going to put a little bit of rice into the jars. So I am going to go ahead and put the rice in the bottom of these jars just to get them stored. You can dry can a rice. I just don't want to. We don't eat rice enough to be able to actually store rice in any type of bulk. This will be for ready meals whenever the power goes out. I'd like to have a variety on hand. That way we have something to eat, something that we don't have to heat up if we don't have any type of electricity. We can use the barbecue if needed, but these are great for takeaways. My sister's husband, my brother-in-law, is a trucker, and he takes these with him on the road so that way he has homemade meals. He doesn't have to worry about all the junk food that's on the road. Doesn't have to, but he does. They all do. We're going to go ahead and make the sauce. It is fairly simple. A lot of soy sauce and a little bit of honey in there. So you can go ahead and make this diabetic if you, sugar-free if you wish. The honey is not necessary. I'm going to omit the 1 cup of sugar that it's asking for and just add the honey and pineapple juice that already has sugar in it. So it won't be as sweet, but it'll still have a little bit of that sweetness to it. Now, in a bowl, we are going to add 1 cup of soy sauce. Well, hi. Try to keep as many flies out as we can. One cup soy sauce. Now, it does say 5 cups of water. We're going to substitute some of that with the pineapple juice that was in the can. So I'll measure this out. That's about a cup of pineapple juice. So 4 more cups of water. One and a half tablespoons of powdered ginger. Yes, there is a reason why we're putting this all in a bowl and mixing it up. And then we're going to put it into a pan. There is a little bit of a process. Same amount for garlic powder, 1 and a half tablespoons. Now, since we are omitting the sugar altogether, we are still going to need about a tablespoon and a half of molasses. One-quarter cup of honey. This is a little bit crystallized. We just need to get rid of it. A little bit of pepper to taste. About a quarter of a teaspoon for us. You can put as much as you wish. We're going to mix this up a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and set this aside. And we're going to toast the sesame seeds. Now, for my sweetener, I am using a little bit of the Stevia Zero. It doesn't have anything added. All it is stevia. Now, you can add any one you wish, but this is going to be about a teaspoon for this. We are going to go ahead and toast about a tablespoon of sesame seeds. It's called a dry roast. All you do is heat it up a little bit. Brings out the flavors a little bit more. And it doesn't take that long to roast these. They will get a little bit brown. And once that happens, we're going to dump the liquid in. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and let that come up to a boil and then simmer for 25 minutes. Once this is done, we're going to go ahead and put everything in: the chicken, the onions, the green peppers, and the pineapple. Then we'll be ready to can. Now you can go ahead and just can this sauce. There's nothing wrong with it. You can water bath it for 20-25 minutes per pint by itself, but whenever we're adding meat to it, you're going to want to either pressure can 75 minutes at your altitude, Or if you're water bathing, which I actually recommend if you're actually putting in real sugar in here, because the sugar will scorch if you pressure can. You want to water bath any size for at least 3 hours. And I'm going to have a lot more chicken in here. Left over. This is a lot of chicken. Don't forget the pineapple. Kind of want to eyeball it. We can add more chicken to this. But this is about a half a can of pineapple right here for the tidbits. And we want that to sit and simmer and have all those juices absorbed into the meat and partially cook these vegetables. So, another 25 minutes. This is done bubbling away. So go ahead and turn this off. We do want this to cool down before we can it. So I'm not going to be able to do that on screen to this week, but I will go ahead and take a picture and upload it to my Discord and to my Facebook. Now, one thing about adding rice or beans to any jar, a pint is 2 cups. If you fill this 1/4 of the way after processing, the whole jar is going to be filled with either beans or rice. Since we want to actually put meat and other things in here, okay, we're only going to put in 3 tablespoons of rice in each jar. Now, like I said, the rice is optional. You can even soak it overnight, rinse it off like you're supposed to. I, on the other hand, just going to put it in. You don't have to rinse it. You don't have to be extra special with it. The only reason why people say you can't can rice is because it comes out as mush. Okay? Rice, pasta, anything that has grain in it is going to actually come out as mush. Cornmeal will also do that. You don't want to overdo it on the rice. So about that much. It's a texture thing. Not everybody likes mushy rice. Sometimes you don't have a choice in the matter. And that's the reason why we're going to go ahead and can it with the chicken, so all the liquid can be absorbed by the rice and make kind of like a stew. You want 1 inch from the top. I'll backfill with the liquid. You can also backfill with some of the chicken stock too. Now that we have our 7 jars, we're going to go ahead and let these cool down completely before we put them in a pressure canner, because we want to start these cold canner, cold food. There is no way to preheat a pressure canner. So we're going to go ahead and let this cool completely and then process. Probably put these in the refrigerator and start tomorrow. We also have enough left over for tonight. We're going to make some potatoes with these. Well, that's it for this week. I am still working on getting the herbs for the herb soup that we had over at K-Pot. I'm going to be working on that all this week. If not, I'll have an alternate. Now, next week is fine. I will be here next week. The week after that, I am actually going to be on vacation. I'll have something uploaded for you all to just enjoy. I'm still here. You know, just to say I'm still living. I'll be back. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you next time.